Burgos.
This is from A to Z.
I go by Michael Mike Check. Yeah, and this is from A to Z.
This is Kilo G. Jose the Great. This is from A to Z podcast.
My name is Christian Burgos. This is from A to Z.
Adrian Casares from A to Z.
What's up? My name is Tom Stone. This is from A to Z.
Cesar Gaddix. This is from A to Z.
Rico Alvarado. This is from A to Z.
Adam Rajapi.
Here at A to Z Studios. Shout out to A to Z for having me. My name is DJ Rick Monster.
aka Bangalore. This is from A to Z.
What's up, guys? It's Angel Rodriguez from Zstudios. Before we start the podcast with Fishhead, I just want to say, hopefully by the time this video drops, we hit the 200 and sub count so I can do the giveaway December 14th. December 14th, I will be going live to do a giveaway. You don't have to be there, guys, but you do have to reply and be ready on your Instagram. So when I contact you, you can claim the prize. If a winner does not claim the prize within a certain amount of time, I will move on to a next winner, and so on until somebody answers or replies to claim the prize. I thank Jose Rose for the shirt. Much love. Definitely go shop with him. A link down below. At any time before you guys leave the podcast, definitely hit that like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, guys. With that being said, guys, let's check out this podcast with Fishhead on all platforms.
Alright, Fishhead, thank you for coming, bro. I really appreciate it. Usually everybody's first episode, bro, I likes to go a little to the origin story.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So, I just want to kick it off with, where were you born, bro?
I was born in Zitácuaro, Michoacán, Mexico.
No way.
Yeah. I'm from the motherland herself. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's like 2.5 hours. You know where Michoacán is?
Not exactly, but I have an idea.
Yeah, it's down it's like 2.5 hours away from like the capital.
Okay.
Or something like that. I don't know. It's down south.
And how did you get here, if you don't mind me asking that?
My parents moved here when I was younger. And we lived in Chicago for a while, down in the south side. I grew up on 65th and St. Louis, right by Marquette Park. Yeah, that's we lived there for a while. Then I moved here, to Durant. I went to Durant High School, and I went there for high school, and then some of elementary. But we moved back to Chicago a couple times, but then I moved into Rockford when I was 21, and now I'm 24, so been living here for 3 years.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you remember moving here? To the
United States? Yeah, I actually remember the plane ride. I was in the plane. That was my first time on the plane, and it was kind of scary.
Yeah,
my little cousin fell asleep on the plane, and I only knew one word in English. It was just hi, so whatever motherfuckers was talking to me, I was like, hi. That's the only word I knew in English. That's it. Yeah.
Did you know what was happening? Were you oh, where are we going? Or
well, my dad moved to the States first, and would send toys from the States down to Mexico.
Oh, bro, you're
yeah, dude, it was these fucking cars, bro, that had eyes, and he only got them. They were only available at the Exicon gas station. When he lived in Oregon, the state. That's where he went first, and then we had just all our family in Chicago, and my godmother, she lived there. So then my mom then went, and then it was me, and then we just arrived in Chicago with my godmother. I remember specifically it was cold in October, and then we got there, and then they had they had a fucking tiny ass TV, those old school you could put the VHSs and shit. Watching this dinosaur show, and I was like, okay, this is it. Here we are. Then started Marquette School down in the south side, and then got my ass whooped a couple times in kindergarten. That shit, kids don't fucking play.
No, bro, shit. Tell me about it, bro. I was born in Chicago, the south side.
Yeah.
47th and South Horn.
Fuck yeah, man. You're a little bit more up than me. I'm more like down. Yeah, because I was off of 63rd really.
Yeah.
63rd was the hood right there. But yeah, but we I mean, it was weird because like I barely spoke English, so I would only hang out with like the Hispanic kids, you know, and my cousin like did karate at the time and shit. And I remember like so specifically, we got in a fight with these 2 other kids outside of the school, and like no teacher stopped it for a fat minute. Like it was like we were like 6 or 7, and we just fucking going at it, and no teachers fucking came, and my cousin got like poked in the eye, and then I got fucking like kicked or something, and then went home. My mom was so pissed, but. I don't know.
I mean, that's the thing about Chicago, bro. I don't know why. I used to play fight way more in Chicago. When I moved to Rockford, there was like none of that.
Yeah.
It seemed like kind of taboo when you fought over here. Like, play fighting, you know?
Right.
Like that shit was like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you guys fighting for real? Like, what's the beef? Like,
that's kind of what I see in some of my students. I teach PE, and it's at a alternative school, so kids get like the kids that can't make it in the regular school. They go to our school, and like there's this thing like just slap boxing. I remember doing that in high school too, but like I've done wrestling, and I wrestled in college, and then like I trained jiu-jitsu, and I Muay Thai, so I fucking love just scrapping. But it's just like a dominance thing. Boys will just want to insert their dominance or some shit. It's fucking weird. Yeah. But I sometimes let it go. Like there's some kids that I'm just like, you need your ass beat.
yeah. No, for sure, man. I know I needed that when I was younger. I was definitely wild and reckless.
Me too. I still am, man. It's just fun. That's what brings out the energy for the shows and shit, you know? Yeah. Just fucking being energetic.
Yeah, and that's something I wanted to get into, bro. Like music. How did that come into your life? Where did you first hear it? Who brought it to you? Or how did it come to you? Or
I don't shit, that's a fucking good question.
What was the first type?
The first music I started when I became conscious in like enjoying music. I think I would always take my dad's CDs, and then like being Hispanic, bro. Like every Saturday you hear that fucking music. And it's time to fucking clean that. You know what I mean? Like, you be hearing those bookies, like, and I'm like, oh no, I gotta clean, bro. Like, that was every Saturday. So, like I listened to a lot of Queen, a lot of, Pink Floyd. Those are the bands that my dad introduced me to. I'd always see those Queen CDs, and he's still salty about it. Sorry, Gabe. But yeah, I remember moving to Duran. I would only listen to music because I still barely spoke English.
And did you did you even understand what they were saying, or?
Dude, it's such a blur that like I eventually understood both languages, and they actually put me in a special reading class when I first moved to Duran because I couldn't read in English, and like it wasn't because I was dumb, it's just because I didn't understand the damn language.
That happened to me too.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, it took time, but eventually, I made friends. Just really easily, but I remember like always listen to my headphones. I'd have this CD player that my mom gave me for like my birthday or something. I always put the Queen CDs in that bitch. Like I played them so much that they just were so scratchy. And I remember this song, Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Like this thing called love, it's like fucking groovy. And I would sing those lyrics, but not saying right because I didn't understand what the fuck dude was saying. So I'd just be singing those lyrics and dancing, and all my friends would be like, what is that? What? I'm like, dude, it's Queen, listen to it, isn't it cool? And like, just that's what kind of what I started. And then I started getting more into like hip hop, and like I ended up listening to a lot of rock, like Midwest emo. You know what I mean? Like fucking it was my friend Blair, he works with us at Roll Culture Productions. He and I first made a band, I think my senior year, because I didn't even pick up the electric guitar until I was like 18 or something. Like bought my own, and yeah, he just showed me to a bunch of bands. The drummer at the time, he showed me who like Avenged Sevenfold was, and all these like metal ones. We would smoke weed and listen to whole albums. So like that's when my music kind of started expanding and everything, and then also just being really big into hip hop, just because in Chicago it was really famous. Like I remember when Chief Keef started popping off and shit, and like I used to really like 50 Cent to the point that we wore like the Fat Farm shoes, fucking like the capri long ass shorts, like we looked like little cholos, and like just with our sideways hats and our fucking big ass t-shirts, like the white t-shirt under, you know. It's just we were like posing and singing like "Party Like a Rock," some shit like that. 50 Cent was really big, and then Kanye West was huge. I mean, he's still pretty big, but like at the time when I was in Chicago living with my cousin, we would listen to like not Eminem. Yeah, Eminem too. Fuck, that dude was pretty famous too.
Yeah, because wasn't when 50 Cent was out kind of around the same time like Eminem was?
Yeah, I think he was going through rehab. I thought he was going through rehab at a point, because he didn't release an album again until like 2011 or some shit like that.
There was a huge gap. After a while from Eminem.
Yeah, but I don't know. We listened to so much, and then now we don't listen to as much of the same shit. But I started like when I started playing, I wanted to figure out more bands. So I don't know if you know this thing called Audio Tree.
A program?
It's a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And like they invite bands into a studio, kind of ask them questions like this, you know, and then they play a few songs. And I found a lot of cool bands from there, like Mom Jeans, Mannequin Pussy, Post Animal, like all these like underground scene bands that, you know, they get a little platform to perform, and then they're on tour, you know. Okay, so cool. It's pretty sick. That's a bunch of my homies. After I met a bunch of homies here, that's what we were really into, just a bunch of fucking bands, and we were fanboys. Yeah, pretty much 100% fanboys.
And when did you start to pick up the instruments?
I begged my dad for an electric guitar for the longest time, but I had to settle for an acoustic. I got an acoustic guitar when I was like 16 or 17, and
did you even know the difference between like? To me, a guitar looks like a guitar.
Right. Yeah. Well, I wanted to be like a rock star. So so I needed the electric, but I didn't know how to play. So my dad's like, perfect the acoustic first, and then I'll think about helping you get an electric. Because also, you know, we were poor, so like, music equipment's expensive. Yeah. But we got a cheap ass $100 like acoustic, and I really only learned it to just fucking talk to girls. like I knew how to play fucking like Hey There Delilah, you know. So like just such a fucking panty dropper, but like it was just really so I can have a little bit of attention. And then I eventually started liking bands, and I was like, shit, I can fucking solo, you know. And then I think I started writing songs senior year too. And like I just liked any instrument. Like I have mad ADHD, so like when I don't take my medicine, I'm just like crackhead mode, you know. And like I can learn anything. So we started playing. That's when I started kind of playing in a band and shit. And then it was called the Toxic Chilies. It was such a bad name. Like we were almost ripping off the fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers because they're my band. I actually have their logo tattooed on my arm. But it was the Toxic Chilies, and then I went off to college for 2 years, and then came back, but that was like party central. I'd bring my guitar to fucking parties all the time. Like I think the first night I stayed in college, I went out with my guitar, and I almost got my ass beat because I had a guitar, because some dude just was drunk and talking shit. And then I ended up playing really well, that the dudes from the house that wanted to hear me sing, like, had my back against dude. Like when the dude came back and shit, like they were big boys too, like big farm kids. They looked like fucking went and talked to dude, and he left. I stayed there the rest of the night singing songs, and they gave me a bunch of fucking beer and wine, and and that's the first time I ever slapped the bag. You know, like I was like 18, so. And like these girls were hot too, and I was like, damn, I'm playing guitar for these motherfuckers. So, and then like they had my back, and then I played in the piano rooms and shit. Me and my friend Jason used to just go in the piano room after we finish homework and just fucking jam it out, because he raps, and like we just played, and I just didn't stop playing. Now I play the drums and I play the bass, I had to play the bass for Hef and the E-Boys because their guitarist is really good and he's the one that writes the songs. And I just was like, I could probably play the bass. Yeah. And then so now I'm playing the bass for them. And then my my guitar is my favorite thing though. That shit, you can make it fucking scream and yell. I can make the R2D2 fucking sound of beep beep beep, beep like just fucking make it sound crazy.
And do you always practice, or do you only pick up? You only pick up when you have something in your head.
It depends. I don't know. I feel like I have to be in the zone. But I just practice every day. Like I used to just go to bed and practice my scales. Just before bed, like before just, and then practice every scale, and then go to bed, wake up. And if I had like an idea, or sometimes this happens, like I just like dream of a song, and like it's just playing in my head, and I fucking go downstairs and record it real quick. Or when I lived in my mom's basement, she had actually eventually ended up giving me the basement room, which was the biggest room, because I had a piano and a drum set in my bedroom. No bed, just the fucking instruments and a futon. So like just. My mom was like, yeah, you can have the downstairs room. I eventually ended up getting an organ, fucking bigger amps, like just my mom had to go through a lot of shit. We'd fucking party there so hard.
Holy
like,
shit.
When I played with Mercury Rose, this one time we came back and fucking got wasted and just partied all night and played instrument. Woke up at like 6 a.m. to play. Just we were feeling ourselves, you know. We dropped a couple tabs of acid and just fucking we're like all night just making sounds. We probably sounded awful. We probably sounded really bad, but in our mind we were like, fuck yeah, this is like the best thing ever, you know. And it was probably really bad, but I don't know.
Do you like to be on anything when you play or practice?
No. Well, obviously we drink some beers, but we as a band, Fishhead and the Bones, like our goal is to make good music and be able to play anywhere, right? So if you want to play music well, like we can't get wasted before shows, but in practice we fucking we like last night, man, we got fucking trashed, but we were just having fun because we didn't have school. Hef works in the education system too, so like we both didn't have school today, and we decided yesterday, you know, we're gonna take some shots of vodka, and then shots turned into more shots, and then fucking I fell last night too and hit my head. It was bad. Ooh. But for shows we will have like a couple beers, but nothing too unprofessional, you know what I mean? Because like when you do a show, like people see that, and if they see that you're wasted, you know, then nobody's gonna want to see it. I mean, we're not big rock stars yet, so we gotta hold ourselves into that professional mode. Yeah.
And what's it called? Do you ever get nervous before heading up on stage, or is it kind of going away? Or where you at with that?
I'm finally at the spot where it's going away. Before, like, I would get really nervous and like fucking damn near puke, cause it's nerve-wracking to go out there. I
mean, I can imagine, bro.
Yeah. When we played for Vendetta when I was in the band called Anti-State. We did like thrasher metal, and the bassist at the time, he knew the drummer, who was Simon Cran. He's the clown's son from Slipknot. And the lead singer is Griffin Taylor, which is Corey Taylor's son, and he somehow knew him from a gaming thing, and he told him that we have a band. So then they're like, do you guys want to open for us at Gabe's? Gabe's is a venue in Iowa City that Nirvana played in, and so we're the fucking openers. And well, actually we played second, so we were like the second band on the bill out of like 4 bands. But yeah, we went out there and fucking, it was crazy because like Vendetta already has following, because, you know, there's Slipknot's kids, and then everybody knew fucking Griffin. They were like asking for his signatures and shit. He was getting free cigarettes. I remember I asked one dude for a cigarette, And he said no, and then gave one to Griffin, bro. It was hilarious. He was actually my pool partner. We played pool before our sets, and he's a really cool guy. He's funny as shit, and we were just talking shit at that table, so much shit, and like that's when, you know, I was drinking a little more before shows, so like we were like having fun, and then it was time to play, and I was like, oh shit, I'm fucking nervous, you know. Yeah. And like it was damn near sold out, so like being on stage and having all the lights on you, you're not only just fucking sweating, and then you can see the wave of people in front. And like, it's so fun to see people mosh. It's crazy because you see motherfuckers just fucking each other up right in front of you. It's crazy. But I actually ended up getting down to my underwear. It was so hot. Like, yeah, dude, and I forgot my clothes. So I remembered all my instruments for this trip, but forgot to pack clothes and shoes. Like, cause I came straight from like a practice or something, and I just had sandals, and fucking it was bad. So we had to go to Target and get some clothes and shit. It was pretty fucking wild. And then yeah, we played there. Then we actually played with them again at Gabe's in Chicago. Ooh. Another crazy cool venue. That was, you know, we were about to go on tour with them, but then, you know, there was just disagreements in the band, and you know, I decided to part my ways. Okay. So, but it would have been cool if we would have went on tour with Vendetta, but you know, it's just it is what it is, man. We're still doing music, and I feel blessed to be able to play music, you know.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask, man, when you started to mess with instruments and the music, did you think that you're gonna get these opportunities, or you think it was gonna be a lot harder? Or was it?
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, like, to where we're at now, like we finally broke 100 people at the lounge, at the Texas Lounge. This last show we had like 115 people. And we sold like 92 tickets. So, you know, we're getting more and more people showing up, but it takes a lot of promotion, and you know, just a lot of work. Because I have a lot of music. Like I have a hip hop record that I'm gonna release in December, and then we're working on a rock and roll record to release in March. So then when March comes, we have a album release party, and then play gigs around here for the rest of spring, and then we're gonna head on a Midwest tour. Fishhead and the Bones and Hef and E-Boys. Hef and E-Boys toured with Throat Switch last year, so now we're gonna tour together because I play the bass for them, and then Hef plays the drums for me. So we're probably gonna hit the Midwest, maybe try to go out east. But the opportunities that we have now definitely have stemmed from just not giving up and just kind of going to places and asking what it takes to play. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I have a band, can we play? And then the venues have their different you know, shit that they
require and shit.
Yeah, and yeah. Before it was harder because I was in 21, and like when we were in Mercury Rose, we played around Rockford a lot. We played every single weekend, damn near. We opened up for Dark Sun a couple times, and like yeah, people like were just noticing, but that was also a weird band dynamic. So I decided to, you know, just keep going with my own endeavors. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, and also like I was really young and just very immature, so we would fucking get wasted, bro. Like there was a show that we did, and it was like at the Cherry Bowl, and like it was so bad because like I had like a Four Loko face. Ooh, and like we were about to fucking go play this Cherry Bowl. Bunch of older people too. Like this is like we're playing fucking Simple Man, dog. Like this is just a cover band, and we played Hotel California. So you know, like these old ladies were all over us, and fucking I got way too trashed before the show, and I don't remember it. But my friend the next morning, he was like, dude, you said some dumbass shit before the show, I guess. And you can hear it in the video when I'm like, hi, we're Mercury Rose and we don't believe in God. and like you can hear the and I'm like, oh fuck. I was like, I did not say that, bro. And he showed me the video, and I sure as fuck did say that. And after that is when I really started to be like, all right, maybe not have too much fun before a show, because eventually this is what I want to do as like for a living, you know. Like I want to be able to make a career out of music, and you know, having fun is cool, but just kind of keep it more controlled and stay disciplined. You know, that's one big thing that I think some bands don't understand, is just having the discipline to keep going and like practice, because we take practice really seriously. You know what I mean? And then if like we invite musicians to jam and they just don't cut it, then sorry for that guy. You know? Because people want to jam with us. I mean, I think we're a good trio to jam with. We had Jason fill in on the electric guitar we did a cover of In One Ear by Cage the Elephant, and like just jamming, you know, it's a great time. It's like a fourth dimension is what I call it, you know, just like everybody's connecting with their brains, like, and you know, the switch ups can get crazy. All you gotta know is a little bit of music, and then the jam is always insane because people really like, that's you're pouring your heart and soul into that instrument and like making it in sync with three other dudes. It's insane,
bro. No, I can only imagine, bro. That's hard as hell. Like trying to get a group together to do the same thing or one goal. It's kind of hard, you know, because everybody has a different outlook on everything, you know. Yeah, definitely.
Each of us, our music taste is different. Like I like a lot of different music, but I also like hip hop.
Yeah.
Logan, our bassist, which ironically he's the youngest member of the band, but he acts like he's at least 74. Because he'll send us like these old ass songs, being like, I want to cover this, and it's a fucking cover from a band from like the 50s, bro.
Holy shit.
So like he's very old school. He plays like, you know, bluesy and shit. And he likes pop. He's a pop star. All his songs, you know, the lyrics are very poppy, the music, but he's classically trained in drums, so it's really easy to jam with him. And then my style, I'd say, like, I've gotten a lot of like people saying that I sound like, I definitely get some inspiration from like John Frusciante, the Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist, Jimi Hendrix, and I'm like, well, that's totally correct, because I had this fucking Jimi Hendrix phase that I learned his whole album of Are You Experience. Like I learned that whole thing because it was great. I love that album, that psychedelic rock shit, and then, you know, getting into the guitar gods, you know, like fucking Clapton, Jimmy, fucking Brian May. I love Brian May. Carlos Santana is a great one too, you know. And every guitarist has like their little style, you know what I mean? And kind of like putting your own style to whatever you're doing, like as a signature, you know what I mean? Like having an autograph or something. Like people will probably remember some of my sounds that I do consistently in the solos and shit. Like it's great, it's fun. But yeah, I don't know, it's fucking
Yeah, bro. And
music shit.
Yeah, I definitely saw you. I saw you perform at the show at the Texas. Yeah, bro. I was like, holy shit. You know, even though you had your stumbles, you acknowledged it, you let it be known, and you still kept going, which I fucking respect, bro.
Yeah, I got called for that show 2 days before.
Holy shit.
Like it was, I had 2 days to get together a set list, and like some of those songs are recent songs that I'm gonna release with my record.
The hip hop,
yeah. So I had to be practicing those lyrics, and you know, being on stage, you get nervous. So I've never performed hip hop in Rockford. I did perform hip hop for like this thing called a showcase tour. I did one in St. Louis, and I did one in Chicago. The Chicago one was bad though, because again, like, and this is like constant struggle that, you know, younger artists should understand, is like, make sure you're disciplined enough to put on a good show, because I remember this very specifically too, and my cousin Danny, the one that I grew up with in Chicago, he remembers this very clearly too. And it was glad for him to come and see one of the new shows, because when we went down to Chicago, it was like Joliet area, and a showcase tour, like, it's a bunch of different artists, you gotta pay for a slot, and it's kind of ridiculous, you know. It's like $250. I don't know why I did it, but
$250 for how long?
It was like, you get like 20-minute set or something, 30-minute set. It's a little expensive, and like I just did it. It's mostly to just kind of it's a kind of a promotion thing. They tour all over, you know. Some rappers were found there, you know, but I wanted to bring my signature style of like having electric guitar solos and hip hop records, you know, and then again, like my two cousins came, and I got really nervous, and I downed like a fifth of vodka, and like just it was really bad, and I forgot my lyrics, and fucking just did really bad, and so I was really disappointed with myself. You know, my cousins were there, family was there, you know, and I fucked up. So I remember like very specifically sitting next to a trash can and smoking a cigarette, and like being really mad and shit. And my cousins were like, "Dude, you're fine, whatever." And then they came and saw a recent show, and my cousin like made it where he's like, "Man," he's like, way better than you know, that one time that I fucked up. And I was like, "Yeah, man, we're taking it more seriously now. We're really trying to be a good band, like, but I'm not trying to like sign to a label or nothing, you know. I feel like being independent, we have a lot of independence in that, you know, like that's why I made Raw Culture Productions with Kenton, you know. We wanna establish a productions company that's like music videos, like commercials, a magazine, like, you know, he and I produce music too, so we can produce artists, you know, they have music and they don't know how to record it. We got the whole rigs and shit, so we could produce their shit, we could direct music videos and shit like that. And then like doing it all ourselves is really important, because then, you know, you get labels or those people with the money, and they want to kind of get you to be the face of their company, and then they're taking some money with them, and then you're stuck with something else. So, you know, I'd rather have it just us make all the money, and then I pay different. Like when we started doing shows at the Texas Lounge, it was just me and Kenton, our character, and we had literally 2 speakers. So eventually, like, charging out the door and shit, we started saving up that money, and then we bought all of our equipment that we have now from the shows at the door. And yeah, we're just trying to make it so we're like professional, and like people hire us to either run sound or, you know, like host a show, you know what I mean? Now I have artists that do the backdrop, I have bouncers, you know, and then me and Ken do the sound and shit. So it's accumulated into something now that it's more of a well-oiled machine that we just keep on doing shows, and
that's what's up,
they
bro.
Keep getting bigger every time. Ooh, so it's great.
Yeah, congrats, bro. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
I couldn't only imagine the motherfucking grind, bro.
Dude.
I mean, even though you see this, you're kind of like, oh, it looks decent, bro. Like, it was a lot worse in the beginning.
Yeah. No, and then you got a great thing going on here, too. I can't help but see Mr. Poopy Butthole over there, man. That shit, I want to get him tattooed on my calf. That shit with him with the ooh-wee. You know what I mean? Yeah, that shit, it's really, I feel really comfortable, so it's great.
Yeah, thank you, man. And, yeah, man, so did you even think you were going to build this much in Rockford? Because, you know, Rockford, it can kind of be dead sometimes.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's not, I'm not trying to bash Rockford. I'm not trying to bash nobody, but, like, there's times where Rockford might not be the most supportive place.
That's a very, very, very valid like observation. Yeah, because I noticed that too. There's a lot of, like, you know, people don't support their friends, you know what I mean? Which for us, it's been kind of cool, because we do get support from our friends. Like a lot of our friends meet other people, and then they show them our music and shit like that. So like it's kind of weird, but I mean, for the shows at the lounge, or for Raw Culture shows in general, my goal was to have it be an all-inclusive place, and, you know, have people feel comfortable at the shows for he, she's, and theys. You know what I mean? Because some venues or some places, you know, there's a lot of homophobia or shit like that, and I just want to create cool shows that everybody could just feel welcomed and feel like it's a nice, like, it's not, you're not at a fucking bar in Loves Park listening to the same old band, like, same fucking 6 songs, you know what I mean? Because we switch up our set list every show.
Okay.
Like, we'll learn a different cover just to fucking smack people in the face with it and then be like, holy shit. Like, we covered Helter Skelter by the Beatles, and that's an old song, you know what I mean? So not a lot of, like, the young kids knew it, but I like seeing these faces, you know, all different types of people are coming, and it's really cool, you know? It's really cool to see and to have shows be like that. That's how I wanted them to be, and I just kind of ran with it, bro, because, like, I just am very impulsive, I guess. So doing the shows, I was like, fuck it, like, let's see what happens, man. And then to have the love that we have seen, you know, it's really cool. And I think just everybody should, you know, just keep connecting. And I want Rockford to compete with Milwaukee and Madison eventually in the shows, you know. I want bands to tour through Rockford and then, you know, have a venue that, like, come tour through here, man. And then you can go to Madison. Then you can go to Milwaukee. Because I love Rockford. And I think Rockford has a lot to offer. But it just takes going and supporting your friends, you know, because, like, the only reason that these big famous artists are famous is because the media outlets, you know what I mean? And like they get signed to a label, and sure, they're on the spotlight and motherfuckers going to the shows and shit, but they're also getting money taken away from them. You see a lot of artists like with bad record deals and shit like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like, you know, actually doing it and doing it the way that we're doing it, just being more independent and making sure everybody eats, you know, like my people always get a cut of whatever we're doing, you know, and then keep bringing other people in to support, and then that's when, you know, then the buzz starts feeding out. Who is that? Sorry, bud.
No, you're good.
I got my good old flip phone here. I don't know that number.
Yeah.
But yeah, shit, and that I think more people should start doing that, just going out and supporting local shows instead of paying $40 to, or more than $40. Shit, I'm thinking still local, but you know, I'd rather pay $20 and go see Piff Mason at the J&K, and or instead of paying $120 and seeing Post Malone somewhere that I can't even see him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's something, like if we ever create a venue, I want it to be like intimate, you know, like.
Bro, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a bunch of fucking venues in Rockford. But the thing is, either you gotta have the money or you gotta have the name.
Yes, and it's so bad.
And I'm not trying to not bashing nobody. It's just facts, you know. Mm-hmm. Me, somebody that really doesn't have a name, I can't just go to any venue and be like, hey, I want a show here.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You know, either you got the money or I have the name where it's like, okay, he's respected.
Yeah,
let's give him a chance.
Exactly, and that's the thing, and like with every band too, like you see certain bands having more control over like different venues. Like you'll see different bands playing more like in Love's Park. You won't see like Half and the E-Boys and Fishhead and the Bones. If we do our set list that is more I guess controversial, you can say.
Do you always let the people at the venue know what you're gonna play before they just know? Play it?
No, they just know as soon as we play it.
Okay.
Because I don't know. Well, it's unless they're asking for specifics. Like we can go do a show at like Louis and get paid $700, play for two and a half hours. You know, but it works different at the lounge because we make our money from the door, and every venue works differently. So some venues want covers, which I don't really like, but I'll do it to get paid, and then use that money for music equipment, so then I don't have to pay out of pocket. You know what I mean? Because I do like paying with my own money, but it's really nice not having to. You know?
Yeah. I can imagine shit, bro. So wait, and then I want to bring it to where so far that you played in Rockford is your favorite spot?
Shit, I really like the Texas Lounge.
Bro, I'm telling. I've said this. I don't know if I said it on camera, but I'm gonna say it on camera now. I think Texas is a gem.
Yeah.
It might not be the best looking, but the back
is awesome. And then if you decorate it
on your own,
yeah,
it looks way even better.
That thing is cool as shit. Like I like performing everywhere else, but just the intimacy of the Texas Lounge is Great. We're actually performing at our gallery on the 25th. It's called the McPherson.
Oh,
I don't know if you, you know where that's at. Yeah. So we're performing there, and
shout out to McPherson.
Yeah, shout out to the McPherson. I fucking asked, dude, because I saw a band called Tetradactyl playing there, and some of my friends show art there. So I was like, what does it fucking take, man? Like, and then it's just a contract. You pay your $250, and I'm like, that's it. Easy, bro. We're fucking, and then now we're working on the promotion for it, and like we actually just recorded a video that'll be released sometime during the week. I got the bands all together, Eclectic Collective, Fish and Bones, Hef and E-Boys, and Colorado Ave. Took individual pictures, then I took pictures of all of them. And then I ran through like a little 2-question interview. Like I was like, I'm gonna ask the band some questions, and the 2 questions were like, the first one was like, describe your band in three words, and then the next question was more like a deep dive, you know, and then getting the raw reaction of them.
Dude, that's dope.
You know? Yeah, so we did that for the promotion.
I mean, I just love seeing that, bro. I feel like nobody really has to pay to get a like a DJ Vlad or a No Jumper 22 or No Jumper interview, bro. Shit, bro, you could do it yourself, bro. I mean, it's gonna be a little harder to get the views, but eventually it's gonna get views.
Yeah, and that's something that I always tell like my homies, you know, like anybody who's trying to play music, like whoever's watching this, you know, like it just takes the effort to do it, and like once you do it,
and timing.
Yeah, and timing.
Yeah, you can't do something too late because then it's not gonna work.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So, just that's what I've learned throughout my time creating shit. And like, sure, we might not have the views or the followers, but going to one of the shows, then that's when you start seeing that, you know, people are coming to the show. We might not have the biggest social media presence, well, because I have a fucking flip phone, so, and like my character, he is just not a social butterfly. So.
No, and that makes it hard too. But I mean, me, don't get me wrong, I'm doing this podcast, but I really don't be on Facebook or Instagram too much. I post and ghost. That's what I do.
Yeah, I be staying home, bro. That shit, I be chilling with my cats. Cause like in hindsight, if you think about it, we're like professional party throwers, which like. I think with that comes like with great power comes great responsibility and shit. But like I like to party, but then I like to be home. You know, I'm very much a homebody, and so is my girlfriend. And like, you know, having a career in education field, you know, I don't want to I don't want to be known as the partier or like that I'm out there fucking being reckless out and about, you know, because I do want to be seen as a professional, whether it be professional with being a teacher and a coach, and then also being a professional musician. You know what I mean? Because I take that shit seriously, you know. And like when people ask me to play,
because nobody else is.
Yeah, and I think the more seriously that you take shit, like the more intimate your music gets. You know what I mean?
Or your craft.
Yeah, whatever, your craft. Yeah, for me it would be music, and for you it'd be this podcast. Like, you're doing this, and like it's gonna start popping off, especially because you've had people come in, and you know, then they get their people to see it and all that shit. And that's always how, like, I want a fun ass scene in Rockford. So then, you know, fuck LA or fucking Chicago or New York, you know. Not really, shout out to those cities, but like I don't want to leave. Like, I just fucking, I live here, so why not make it poppin' here?
Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. Ever since the corona or the Rona, you know, 2000.
Yeah, the virus, the whole pandemic.
Yeah, there you go. The whole pandemic. Ever since then, bro, like there's been a lot more homeless in LA. So, and a lot of people have been moving out of LA. So I feel like you don't have to go to those big cities like LA, New York, Chicago, Texas, bro. You can make it in your hometown. You just gotta, you know, do it. You know, encourage people, bro. Like I don't just encourage. I don't just do this podcast, bro. I do a bunch of other things, but I also tell other people like yourself, like, keep doing the interviews, bro. Keep doing the video thing, because one day, bro, when I see there's enough, like, people doing podcast or their own thing here, or like it's becoming big, bro, I want to be able to step back.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm planning too in the raw culture biz, you know, because a musician isn't going to be famous forever, right? Unless your label is giving you that that attention in the media, right? Because essentially that's what it is, you know. In the big industries, like being in the music industry now, I feel like it's a nightmare. You know what I mean? I wouldn't, like, if I didn't love music so much, I probably wouldn't be in the music industry. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just because how dangerous it is too, and like all these things that you have to do. You know, you need to have a good kind of idea of what you're getting into, you know what I mean? And have that bold personality to be able to say, nah, like, fuck you, like, this is what I deserve, whatever, you know? Because, like, a record label is going to get you shows and still take 10% of it, you know what I mean? And then you're out there doing shows, but then if you don't do it yourself, you don't know what's the promotion. You don't know how much they're promoting your shit, you know. But when you do it yourself, you get to create your content and then release it yourself, and then feel proud of yourself that, oh shit, I fucking did that. You know what I mean?
And you see everything, bro. Like if it gets views in Hawaii, Oregon, whatever, bro, you see all that. You see what it. What's it called? What it makes, if it makes anything. And yeah, bro, you have more control when you do it on it. It's more work.
It's more work, yeah. But like, if you're willing to, if there's a will, there's a way, you know? Because eventually I want to just step back as a musician and just be a producer. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you know who George Clinton is.
No.
What about Rick Rubin?
They sound familiar, but no, I don't.
Okay, so they're like old producers from like back in the 60s. They produced the Chili Peppers records too. They started as musicians. And now they're just producers. They're these old wise men that just fucking produce great records, you know. And like I want to be able to play, but dude, touring is hard. Playing is hard. Like, it's energy. Like, you have to be disciplined, you know. Having to sing, having to play, having to put on a fucking show. Like, that shit gets tiring. Like, I don't want to do that when I'm 45. Fuck that. I'd rather just fucking sit back and create a record and then have a band play it, and then just still make my money off of that while I'm just chilling back home, you know, like not having to go through the tours, not having to, you know, be the face or something, you know, because right now with our videos and shit, like, I gotta be the face of it, but like when you get a lot of attention, people start like wanting to like see you and all this shit, and like, yeah, bro, it gets overwhelming, and I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, at shows, I feel like I gotta say hi to everybody and shit.
Dude, like, yeah, man, no, I get weirded out when somebody be like, either I'm the guy from the podcast or I'm that artist. Yeah, and either one, bro, I get weirded out. You know, I appreciate it, but I just like, I don't know how to take it, bro. Yeah, you know, I'm learning, but dude, I'm still shy because I'm same way too, bro. I mainly stay at the crib and just draw or video or edit or whatever, bro. I do. Yeah.
I like writing. That's something that I like doing.
I like writing music, writing stories,
everything. I don't take my meds often, so just my brain is always doing shit. Like, if I'm not fucking, I'll watch. I can sit I can sit through a whole marathon or something, or like I can't sit still. You know what I mean? And then just like this past weekend, we've had like a big weekend, so I've been just recording the record and hanging out with friends. You know. So Saturday I ate some shrooms and was at the crib just fucking creating, and it was crazy. like just because I had my room and it's kind of the vibe of this, but I have like the neon lights and shit. I have like a Miller Lite sign, like one of those bar lights and shit. Yeah. So we just be chilling in we call it the music room. So when like my friend Logan, the bassist, half was over, Bird was over, and we were just shooting the shit and recording a record. Kev came and laid down a verse to one of my songs, and just fucking, we were just jamming out, having fun. I'm good on that, bro. But that's how, like, I love doing that shit, like having an intimate like session with the homies. You know, I feel like the music comes out better, and it doesn't feel like a job. It feels like you're just having fun with your homies, you know, like making music and living life, really, just fucking, because I know all my responsibilities and shit, and as long as my bills are paid and fucking got everything straight, then it's time to have some fun and create some records. You know what I mean? That's how I want it to be until, you know, we're 45, you know? You can be like, all right, I'll make the records, but I don't want to fucking perform them. You know what I mean? Get other young and coming artists to do that, and, like, you know, I don't know.
No, I feel you, bro. Like, I want, when I, because my like business, you can say, or my brand, Zstudios. I didn't really want it to be the face, but like, who else is gonna be the face? Right. I make all the shit. You know what I was like, it's hard. It's really weird. Like, I totally understand where you're coming from, because like, I can totally be a social butterfly. Like, when some of my friends, like more of my like close friend group or coworkers, you know, they're like, dude, you have like a really extroverted personality, you know, which, you know, I do, but man, is it tiring. Like, that shit, I don't want to, like, it's nerve-wracking, it's tiring, I get anxious, you know, fucking, I mean, but it's necessary, you know, and my mom's always been like, well, you wanted to do this, so, like, you can't fucking, you know, get too nervous, you getting too inside your head, like, just fucking do it. This is what you want to do, then do it. And then that's pretty much what I've gone by. Just fucking, just do it. Do that shit, man. Do that shit and see what happens. Cause no, I barely figured that out too, bro. Like 25, 26, you know, or like, when I started to do my thing, bro, that's when I was like, bro, just do it.
Yeah. How old are you, Vicunez?
I just turned 29.
29. So yeah, you're around Hef's age. So like, I feel like that's the age group that's kind of doing shit in Rockford, like from 20 years old to like 30. You know, like, or like early 30s, because like a lot of the people that I hang out with, I'm one of the younger ones because I'm 24, but everybody's like, just, you know, we have some of my homies, they have kids and shit, and like, but we're still creating, you know, because this is fun. This is like it's like an escape, kind of like, I mean, it's really cliche to say I sound like every other artist out there, but it really is. It's just you're just having fun and fucking creating shit with your homies. Like, I love making music videos because it's just like a lot of, you can have a script, like we always have to have a script, or like how the video's gonna go, but then like yeah, like just all the shit that we do for, because like me and Kenton have a Google Docs.
No, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, so we like, because I am very messy, like I said, ADHD really bad, so like I need to be focused and organized, so we have a Google Docs with all of our shit. Like, we have a Google Docs for the shows at the lounge, we have a Google Docs for music videos, we have a Google Docs for our albums. Damn, bro, like, just fucking, so I can, if I have an idea, it's like, go into Google Docs, type it in, Kenton reads it, understands, sends a text, and fucking shit's done. So like that's how we work.
Dude, damn, dude, you definitely get it, bro. Hell yeah.
Like it keeps it more fucking organized and balanced, and I know what I gotta do. Like, if I'm writing a script, like when I wrote the script for the videos yesterday that we did with the bands, it was 2 days ago. When we went and recorded the promotion video. It was the same thing. I pitched the idea to Kenton. Kenton liked it, brought his cameras and shit. And then, like, it's fun recording shit in the moment, because, like, then if you see, like, another place that you think would be cool to be at, like, you can make the idea come to life. Like, it's just, the ideas just come out. And, like, when we recorded the video for Scorpio for Heaven and E-Boys, we're working with this producer. His name is Camo. Camo James. He's one of the homies. I've said his name wrong at the Texas Lounge. I felt so bad. Camo, he's like 27, 28, and he's got a kid, but his artistic view, man, is insane. Like, he sees, like, when you work with a great video producer, they describe something to you, like, it could be this wall, and there could be a whole idea, and then you just gotta sit there and listen to their idea, and then you kind of imagine it yourself, and then act the part, you know. And then we were like in downtown Rockford. It was nighttime, and like it was great. It was a really fun experience, and it's fun working with somebody that knows what they're doing and like is a leader, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he was very direct what his artistic vision was and shit like that.
Do you also work on that, or is that him like just the video stuff?
He's just a videographer, but I do work that as well. Like when I did the video with the bands for the McPherson show, you know, I was like, all right, guys, like this is the plan, blah blah blah, this, blah blah blah, that, and then.
Is he the one that also shot your video that you released?
Kenton.
Yeah, the one you're on the stool playing.
Oh yeah, that was actually in his where he records music with a green screen. That's a green screen.
Yeah.
So there's that other video, Cages, too, that my girlfriend's cousin, he works for WTVO Channel 17. He's a video producer as well. He did that and with every artist they have a different eye.
Yeah.
And like it's really cool to see that come to vision, because like I'll sit there and I'll explain my idea, my vision, whatever, and like Kenton understands. We started Raw Culture Productions 4 years ago. It was like our 4-year anniversary, like a couple weeks ago. And like it was just in the basement. We actually both have gotten back from college.
Okay.
He went to the Art Institute of fucking Chicago, man. And this kid that we just grew up together in Durham, really small town. He went to be a graphic designer, and I remember going out and hanging out with him out there. You know, we skateboard all the time. I fucking wrecked my ankle because of that shit. Like that shit. I was like, all right, it's either skateboarding or wrestling in college. So I chose wrestling and stopped skateboarding. But he's really good. And we were just always hanging out because all of our other friends were in college.
Yeah.
So like we were like the only two, except for the kids that like decided to just work, and when everybody would be partying, we'd be in our zone. He called it the crock pot. It was his bedroom. We just recorded. We have a record out on. It's only on YouTube. It's called Love Conglomerate, and if you want to check it out, that shit, it's on YouTube under Raw Culture Productions. But Love Conglomerate, like, it was a record about just kind of like our feelings during the time, and at that time I was going through like a really rough patch, and like you know, just a bunch of family stuff, and I would always go over to Ken's house, and my mom would get so pissed because she's like, you're only going over there to smoke pot and like, you know, party and shit. And I'm like, yeah, but we're making music, you know, like, so we fucking would make music. Like, there'd be times that it'd be like this, so you couldn't see daylight outside. And one day we made music and we were in the zone, like in the zone, just fucking going. And it ended up being like 5 a.m, and we didn't even know. Like, we were like, holy shit, the sun's rising. And then we were awake the whole day, and you know, we'd film just random shots of us doing shit, like just funny videos we'd shoot. And then when I started writing songs, Kenton was like, you should totally record this and we should put it on YouTube. And I was like, fuck it, bro. Like, yeah, I'll sing whatever song. It was one of my original songs that I've written at the time. And it was the cheesiest motherfucking song I've ever written. Like I said, I started playing the acoustic guitar to get girls' attention. And it was called Open Door. And it was like, if you could, like, it was a mix of a radio sounding cheesy fucking love song that, like, Ed Sheeran does or some shit. It was bad. But I performed it at the school as well during the time too. My senior year, I performed that song, and like, it was funny. Like, the ladies were like, "Oh my god, you're so good!" Like, yeah, like fucking signing autographs. I was like, this is weird. You know what I mean? Like, but
were you expecting that?
No, man. I was like, this song is so bad, and I sang it to the crush I had at the time, and like, yeah. Didn't it was fun. It was a fun song, and we put it on YouTube, and that one got like 400 views for us never posting shit. It was pretty cool. Ooh. And then during the time that we both went away to college. You know, we didn't hang out for a while. And then we both came back from college, and it was like kind of rough too, because like I had to come because financial, you know, shit. I just couldn't afford it anymore. Kenton, they were actually shutting down that part of the Art Institute of Chicago. Like, they were shutting down the school for a little, like, just, I don't know what happened with his shit, but you know, he was pretty bummed out, and we were both bummed out. So we were like, let's fucking make music.
But I mean, I feel like it's not a total loss. I mean, because you learned something, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you learned less from going in there.
Yeah, yeah.
To me, I always look at it like something positive, you know, because shit, bro, I don't even got my GED, bro. So you at least got something, bro.
Yeah, I'm still in school actually. I start mid-November, so because being a teacher, you have to have certain licensures and shit.
Yeah, and that's something I want to talk about too, bro. Like, what made you want to do teaching?
Oh man, I actually got that job. It was like, I feel very blessed to be in that position because like, and when I was like 20 years old, I was living back with my parents and shit. Just came back from school and I was reckless. We were in a band and shit, and then I was like, I gotta move out of my parents' house, you know. So the next year I moved out, and I worked at S-Wing, the hammer company, like right down the street over here somewhere.
Yeah.
And me and Kenton actually got jobs there together because we were like, let's go into Rockford and start doing shit. But he still lives with his parents. I moved out here, and I was just working, and it fucking sucked, bro. Like, I felt so bad for people in there because it looked like they had no life, you know what I mean? Like, they were just angry to be at work, you know, and that's the thing with capitalism. It's crazy, but it's a struggle, and you can see it in people's eyes, you know. And so like when I was working there, I was also coaching wrestling at Durand, the high school that I graduated from, and during one of the meets I was coaching, I when I coach the kids, you know, I if they win or they lose after the match, I let them go, kind of breathe it out, because there's a lot of emotions, especially if you lose. So I let them, you know, cool off, whatever, and then I'll go talk to them, kind of like a review of the match and shit, because I love wrestling, still like, you know, martial arts, and it's fucking tough. Like, it's a whirlwind of emotions having to fight somebody, you know, and so when I'd go talk to the dudes, you know, there was this administrator there that happened to be the principal at the school that I teach at. He liked the way I coached, so my other coach, he was like, this administrator wants to talk to you. And I was like, okay. Kind of weird. I hope I'm not in trouble, you know, because I had like bleached my hair and shit. Just doing crazy shit with my hair. And he was like, have you ever considered a degree in teaching? And actually, that was what I was going to school for. I had it in my mind I was going to be a history professor, bro. Like, I just wanted to be a history professor. I fucking love history. And
what history?
Like, okay, it depends, because I like I said, I fucking just get into these like phases, right? Like, my brain just doesn't stand still. So like, when I was in high school, I really liked like between 1910 and like 1960. I liked learning about, you know, the Revolutionary War down in Mexico, or like I liked learning about the whole thing with the Native Americans fighting back against, you know, fucking the United States government. So it was just, and then I really liked like Greece at a point too, like the ancient Greek mythology and all that shit. And then I got into like poetry. Like, so my English teacher gave me this book, and I just fucking read all the poems, and like just like learning about the time when the poems were written, because when you listen to a poem, or not listen, read a poem, and I really enjoy like, okay, they wrote about this, but this was like way back now, like that, the ideas and like, and feelings that humans felt back in 1850 is like, we're the same nowadays, you know what I mean? Like there's so much emotion in a lot of shit. Even like, if you listen to like love poems, and you just fucking look, like, you read them, and it's like, this shit's cheesy as a motherfucker. Might as well put in a song. You know what I mean? So that shit, I don't know. I like doing that. And so then, when I told him, I wanted to pursue a career in teaching, he was like, oh great, we need a paraprofessional here, you know, because I still didn't finish my degree yet. And I was like, great, I'll put in my 2 weeks on Monday. So like right away on Monday, I fucking put in my 2 weeks, went to an interview, I got interviewed, and then got the job. I started off as a para, and then I'm going through a program right now, paraprofessional.
Oh,
like,
okay.
so you're not fully a teacher, but you know, you're like a teacher's assistant pretty much, you know, and you don't make as much as a teacher. So then I was doing that, and then one of the PE teachers, he ended up getting a better job, and they're like, all right, Diego, how many credits do you have? And then I was like, this many and shit. And then I got some funding help from some friends, paid off Oshkosh debt, and then I signed up for school, and then got some more degrees so I can be in this program that you're like still like a teacher, but like you're working to get your bachelor's, right? So I got like my associate's degree. Now I just need to finish my bachelor's, and yeah, I'm in that program right now, so that's why I'm still doing school, and I have like 3 years of it. So we're doing that right now.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, bro, you look like a cool ass teacher.
Yeah, I get a lot of compliments on my clothes. I've gotten a couple. I actually had to change my pants one day because they were ripped jeans, and my principal was a little salty. So I try to keep it very professional there as well, you know, because I like to show my personality and like the fun of just being still youthful, you know what I mean? Like doing shit that is fun. I play like pickleball and shit with the kids. Is great. Like kids are so competitive, and it's super great seeing like these little minds just coming to fruition. And I get cussed at like a motherfucker, bro. Really? Yeah, because these are kids that have, you know, disabilities. They all have IEPs and shit like that. So they'll fucking cuss your ass out. Like I had a kid hit me one time that I had to stop a couple fights in my gym too. Like being a PE teacher is fucking great. Like it's just it's never a dull moment. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like even when a kid like fucking just wants to beat your ass, you're just like, don't do it. You know what I mean? There's this kid that literally squared up with me, bro. I'm not even joking. Like this, and he was like in 5th grade, and like kind of like, you know, a little gamer kid that, you know, he doesn't like gym. So, and he's a funny, well-spoken young kid and like really intelligent. This motherfucker, like, cause I'll be roasting the kids sometimes, low key, and like I was just giving them shit, and he got angry. So that's when I know how to stop, you know, like with my roasting. And he squared up, and he was like, "Do you want a piece of me?" And squared up like fucking Popeye, bro. Well, like I was like, I just looked at him. I was like, "Sit down, Caden. Why? Just sit down, man." You know what I mean? Like just, and then playing basketball with the kids too is great, because like I suck at basketball. I never played basketball. My dad told me it's too short, so he never fucking let me play. That's why I wrestled. Yeah. And just I'm really competitive as well, so I'd be like in the kids' ears talking hella shit.
I was gonna say, do you ever tell them that what you do on the side or no?
Not really,
because I remember even my teachers, bro, a lot of them wouldn't say what they were doing after work or like what they do off the time.
Because you can't get to the point with a kid like that, you know, because your job is to be an educator, right? And if you push those boundaries, then the kid's gonna look at you more as their friend, right? And I had a teacher that actually explained it really well back when I was in high school. Like he had a gamer tag and shit. I actually mooned that teacher and got suspended. That was hilarious. But which is really funny now that I'm actually like teaching. Like I got a lot of detentions and shit. Like I got suspended in 3rd grade for bringing a knife to school, almost expelled, bro. And just
same here, bro. Yeah, bro. I was in Chicago. I did that in Chicago. Though.
Yeah, I was in Durant. So imagine, you know, there was a little brown kid that brought a knife to school. They were all scared, bro. It was all white town and shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, that was the worst, man. I learned a lot of like, I got hella fucking bullied for being Hispanic. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even know what like spick meant or wetback and shit, and I'd be going home and like telling my mom like, these kids called me this, what does it mean? My mom didn't know what it fucking meant either, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like it was. I eventually figured out they were being racist as a motherfucker. So I'm like, I'll give you the 2 piece with the soda, motherfucker. Like, don't test me. Like,
I mean, to tell you the truth, bro, I didn't know about those words until I got older myself as well.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, like, kind of old. Like, I want to say like 15, 16. That's kind of when I got like more like consciousness of.
Yeah. And did you live like in Chicago still, or did you live in Rockford?
Yeah. When I moved to Chicago, it was like in 07. And I was born 93. So.
Word. So yeah, you were like, yeah.
No, I was still young when I moved here. I was still young, so I really know. I'm really comfortable with this spot more than Chicago. I can't go.
Yeah, and Chicago is just way too busy, and that's kind of like
a lot more shit happens.
Yeah, a lot more shit happens, a lot more shit pops off, and then you gotta be a little more street out there too,
Yeah.
Like you gotta really be able to hold your own because like even in school, like kids are brutal, dog, and just like being short and fucking.
Dude,
so
but I think I've been this size my whole high school. I think middle school.
Yeah, that's why I learned martial arts, man. Cause I like that.
Low key, that's why I want to try that, bro.
That's the same thing with music, man. You just do it. You gotta just go out there and try it out. Like I joined this gym, and it's fun because like even like practicing an martial art like jiu-jitsu per se, right? It's crazy because you need to have a lot of discipline as well, right? You need to have discipline to go to the gym and to find your times to work out and shit. And like just when you're rolling with another person, that's like one of the craziest things because it's like in the mindset should be it's like you or them, right? Excuse me, what's it gonna be? Right, and like, but you gotta have the discipline to not get angry, right? You have to keep yourself disciplined, because then the more angry you get, the harder it is for your brain to concentrate, right? And that's when people do moves that are bad, right? And then get into positions that you can get choked out, your arm broken, fucking.
Did you know that right away, or did it take time?
Like what, martial arts?
No, like the discipline thing.
Well, I think I grew into that, just because I did do wrestling, and I wrestled in college, and I had I was cutting a lot of weight, at the time, which is stupid. And just having the discipline to make weight, be an athlete.
So you already have.
Yeah. So, and then like going there, I have fun. Like, I'm just there just to keep myself healthy and in shape, and because I fucking like partying and shit. So, like, having a different like way to release your energy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love just going in there, rolling with whoever I want. Like, I'll roll with the coaches. Like, I'm still a white belt, but I'll be rolling with the purple belts and shit like that because it's fun. I like it, especially like. Because it's challenging, and like when I get my ass beat, I'm like, fuck yeah, because usually I whoop on my friends. Like, I just be always wrestling with my friends and shit, but they don't know like martial arts like that. Like, one time me and my friend Bloyer, we put on the boxing gloves, bro, and I only had one pair, so we were doing like a single hand fist fight, and like I had the right glove, so he's like, it's not fair you have the right glove. I was like, all right, here you go, motherfucker. And I had the left one, and then he socked me in my nose, bro, and this one hurt. I started bleeding and shit, and I got fucking pissed. So fucking I just was hooking him with the left, and then threw him on the bed and fucking just wailing at him, and then he was like wailing back and shit, and then all of a sudden this motherfucker wasn't hitting me and he was knocked out, and I was like, oh shit, like fucking knocked my homie out, man. And then like, and he woke up and we were all good. Like, he just fucking, I was so pissed that he made my nose bleed. I got like blood on the wall. It looked like a murder scene, bro. This shit was funny. And, but like, and that's sometimes my idea of fun. It's really crazy. I feel like some people would think I'm like psychotic, but like, I don't know. It's so fun to just wrestle and scrap it out. I love football, dude. I played on the line, like, lineman in football. Mm-hmm. That's what I was at, like 130 pounds. Is bad because I couldn't fucking run. I couldn't run fast, and they put me on the line. They're like, yeah, be the center, be the nose guard. I fucking did that shit. That was really fun.
Holy crap, dude.
So like, and then like, just having cousins and siblings and shit. Like, you just beat each other's ass. I mean, I was the youngest of the 3 cousins, so I got my ass whooped a lot. You know what I mean? So
same here. My family is 2 older sisters, and then it's me. So I'm the baby.
I'm the older brother in my family, because it's me and my younger brother. We're the only 2. But my brother is not a fighter for sure. So I respect his boundaries. But before, I used to bully the fuck out of that kid, like fucking throwing like WWE choke slamming him onto some shit. I have this other really good friend. His name is Dennis. Very, very close childhood friend. I remember when I first started being his friend. When I first moved to Duran, he was like one of my only friends there. And it was funny because my mom was really bad at English at the time, and we scheduled a play date and sleepover, right? And we were like 7 years old, 7 or 8, and when my mom talked to his mom, my mom didn't understand fully what she was saying, and it came to be the second day, and he was still at our house. My boy stayed at my house for a whole fucking week, bro. And what I think his mom went on a business trip is what I think happened. And asked my mom if he can stay, but my mom didn't know what that meant, so she didn't know that she was dropping him off for 7 days. You know what I mean? And like we grew up together all the time. Fucking, I remember just always scrapping it out with him, and he's bigger than me. I know he can whoop my ass like 100%. That dude's a fucking iron worker, man. He's just built like fucking Taylor Lautner. You know what I mean? Just fucking yoked his shit, but I fucking slapped the back of his neck any day. It's so funny, and like. Just getting those reactions and pushing the buttons just so he can like fucking fight back. One day I actually was on his back, and this is when I lived with my mom. So like my mom was really strict about no fighting in the house because shit gets broken. Yeah. I had like my closet behind and my futon, and I was just on his back just fucking trying to choke him out, and he got really pissed and like stand up and threw me over his back into my closet door, and I broke the closet door, and like my mom rushed downstairs, and I was like on the closet door broken in, and she got so pissed, and he was like, he did it. Fucking I got in trouble for that.
Dude, I mean, that's what's up, man. Like me, I was always a scrapper because I always liked the like attention and like people like playing with me. Yeah. Because I was young, but like after now, bro, like, or as I got older, bro, I started doing it less and less, bro.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna feel that way as well, eventually, because like, I don't know, like, pro athletes even say it, they kind of regret some shit that they did because, they put their bodies through hell like that. Like, I'll still train jiu-jitsu for as long as I can. It's a good way to keep yourself in
may I ask real quick, like, why jiu-jitsu and not boxing? And do you think jiu-jitsu or wrestling is helpful in a, like, fight?
Yes, that's a great fucking question. I like jiu-jitsu and wrestling because it teaches you a lot of spiritual discipline, right? Because in jiu-jitsu, you're able to choke somebody out, sleep them. You could break somebody's arm. You could break their leg. You could break their wrist. Like you are a machine that is meant to break, right? Mm-hmm. Knowing that you have that skill and that ability is already putting you above somebody that's going to be just wailing, just random shots. Because as soon as, like, I'm not a big person, but if somebody, like, goes to that self-defense situation, like, if I close the distance and now we're rolling, it's it's a little, I wouldn't want to get caught with my coach that's the black belt. No way. Like, he's able to break people. Like, he can kill somebody. You're a weapon, right? Same with boxing, and I think boxing is also important, but like a real street fight situation, it sometimes goes to the ground, what I mean? Oh, yeah, and what's boxing gonna help you with that? Like, mixed martial arts is, I think, more important. Like, I like training Muay Thai. Muay Thai is the art of elbows and knees and shit. And like, fucking, when I finally figured out how to throw a knee, it was crazy. I was like, holy shit, like, this is insane. Yeah. Like, you're able to, like, just fight, right? And then, but obviously that's why there's people that get paid because they're professionals and they're really good. Like I got these two homies, Husam and Wisam. Shout out to them. They're doing it down in Texas, man. They're winning big events and shit. And I remember wrestling with them at UW Oshkosh. My homie AJ, he's also fucking. He is winning tournaments, and now he's onto a blue belt. And I think that's why I joined as well, because being on a wrestling team in college, you know, you just get it's crazy because like everybody's just like a dude, bro, you know, beating each other's ass. Like we're in there training 3 times a day to beat somebody else's ass. So then, you know, a lot of my homies that did train still train now, and I think for me it's like almost like motivating. Like I want to be able to be like, yeah, I'm a fucking blue belt now, or get my black belt when I'm fucking 40 or something, because it takes a long time to achieve those moments, you know. If you haven't been doing it for a while, it's gonna take time and discipline.
I mean, I never done no wrestling. Well, I did wrestling training, bro, one day, and then the next day I was like, I can't do it, bro.
I love it.
Yeah, and that was like in middle school, so I never tried after that, you know. But I definitely do give respect, and I know somewhat, like I love UFC, but I just never did nothing like that.
I don't know if like I would want to ever fight professionally, just because of the, like, you're putting your body through some hell, bro.
But wouldn't you say you're doing the same thing practicing? You could get hurt like the same way they get hurt.
Right. But in practice, it's like,
especially if you're working with somebody who's having a bad day.
Right. Well, that's the thing I like about jiu-jitsu. You know, you choose your training partner and how hard you want to train. Because like there's dudes in there that are like 50 something years old still training jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Then that's the beauty of it too. Like you don't have to be a meathead and always want to be ass. Like you could just go in there and go through the motions and practice your moves. You know, and not have to like go 100%. You can be like, all right, man, like we'll learn the technique. I'll roll just to go through the technique, and then, you know, I'm outie. And that's a good way to keep yourself active, keep yourself physical, and know how to defend yourself. It's a self-defense art, right? Because I'm not gonna go out and beat somebody's ass, break their arm. If a motherfucker like tries to attack me, and just then they can figure it out themselves. But it's in a self-defense disciplinary art that I think, you know, more people should try it out, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you go somewhere in Rockford or?
Yeah, I go to Hampo Martial Arts. Coach Darby, I remember, it's crazy cool now, like growing up here and now seeing everything that's going on. I feel very happy and blessed and proud. That's why I want to, you know, grow the scene. But my coach Darby, he's the Darby Hampa who owns the company, him and his brother. And they have coaches, right? And I remember going and training at a place called Alpha Wrestling Academy when I was in high school. Because in high school, like, to make it to state or to be a great competitor, you know, you have to put in the off-season work. Like, there's no state champ, state qualifier that doesn't do off-season wrestling. You know, you have to work in the off-season to train and get those results and win tournaments, you know, and get ranked in state and all that shit. So I trained at Alpha Wrestling Academy, which is on Airport Drive right in front of the airport here in Rockford. Okay. And it was a haul. And like I feel very grateful that my parents, you know, were able to make that sacrifice, because it did cost a little bit of money. But the wrestling community has been really great to me. I actually have a friend who passed away, sadly, that I wrote a song about him when he, you know, he committed suicide. So, but I remember when we were doing off-season wrestling together, like, my mom couldn't drive me or whatever. His mom took me in, and she would take us to the tournaments, and she'd, you know, feed us, and I stayed at his house a couple times, you know, just very grateful to be able to have a place to compete and shit like that. So, like, when we practiced there at Alpha, I remember when Darby was coming in and training his few friends and shit, just kind of getting a start, right? And after wrestling practice, they'd come in, and then our coach would be like, if you guys want to try out jiu-jitsu, like, we got this dude coming over doing it, and we're like, fuck yeah, man. I tried it out one time, and I was like, this is gnarly. But now he has his own gym and his own space, and it's really cool. Like, they have a weight training room, and then they have the big room where they train Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, and then they have another mat for, like, another place to roll in and shit like that. So their training center is really great, and they're really good at what they do. I love rolling with them too. Like, I'll always roll with any coach that I can, just because they're great.
Can anybody go in there and like just check it out and like get choked out? Or?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to get choked out, that's up to you. But I think they have a free trial. Like, they have a free trial for it. And then if you like it, you can sign up. And I knew for sure I wanted to do it, so I went in there with my money ready and shit. I was like, I can do the free trial, but fucking I wanna start training, you know. And like, you can go in there, try it out. If you don't like it, then you don't have to come. But if you want it, like, it costs obviously money to be a member, but it's great, dude. I freaking love it. It's really fun, and when I'm not practicing music, I'm out there training jiu-jitsu.
Do you recommend somebody that has never trained or worked out to go? Like, do you recommend them to train a little bit before checking it out, or just to go?
No, just check it out, man. It doesn't matter if you never trained it before or nothing, because like I said, like it's a self-discipline art, right? And they know. The coaches are really good at recognizing when somebody's very green. I mean that they're just starting, right? And they're really good at recognizing that. And then as soon as you just start practicing with other people, find your training partners. Like I like rolling with some of the kids that go there. One of them, his name is Joey. And like, it's always a great scrap with him. Like, he's smaller than I am, but because like I came in with a wrestling mentality, right, and like always taking people down, but I didn't know you could fucking be on your back and shit. Like, in wrestling, you can't be on your back or you're pinned. And so there's like the guard and shit, and then like with the gi too, like you can grab the gi and shit. And I get really pissed, but my thing is just takedowns and then just staying on top, like, for wrestling, right, and but my coaches, since they're a lot more like trained and skilled, they know how to stop a wrestler's moves, because like jiu-jitsu is more in depth. Like, you have to know a lot about the body, like the motions, like how you can control your weight with your hips. Like, it's crazy. Like,
no, yeah, I mean, I heard stories because I listened to Joe Rogan. That gives you an idea where.
Yeah.
But I just never tried it, and I always did. But the thing is, like, I don't think I'm like even ready.
I think it's just having your own confidence, right? Like, I think everybody should try martial arts, or at least one form of martial arts. But like, our coaches are really good at saying, if you don't want to compete, you don't have to, right? This is not like a you don't have to be competitive. You could just come in here and train and learn and know about the art. So if it does come to a situation like that you have to defend yourself, these moves. You can, like, one of them is that I really like, that I'm like always keeping in my head, is like just that you can choke somebody out with their coat. Like we have the gis and shit. Yeah. It's like a choke, like the collar choke, that you just grab both the sides of your thing and then just suffocate the windpipe right here. You're out. It's fucking nuts, bro. Like, there's so many crazy holds and like, and then once it gets to the legs, bro, that you can fucking, oh dude, it's crazy. You can tear people's ACLs, like, have them never walk again. You know what I mean? It's fucking nuts. Like, if you think about it, like, it's evil, but it's great. Like, especially if you got the discipline to not go out and hurt people on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, like, you don't see like the superheroes or whatever going out and killing people just because they can, But there's people that do use it to, hurt others, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
No, I feel you, man. I think we'll just wrap it up here, bro, because we are at an hour and like.
Yeah,
20...
that was a great conversation. Though.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, bro. Come on next time, bro. If you fuck with the pod, like if you see our episode, you like it.
Yes, sir.
Think about the second one, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Wait. Before we go, is there anything we should look for? I mean, this pod episode might come out in a couple weeks, so.
Okay. Yeah. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you, my friend, A to Z Studios. Yes, A to Z Studios. Love to thank you for having me on. It was really great. Very great host, man. You had some great questions. I had me fucking talking, bro. I won't stop talking, which is the greatest thing. But I have a record coming out December 9th. It's called Expanded Playground. It's a hip hop record. I mean, there's some hip hop songs. I think it's more like a lo-fi bedroom record. Dope. And you know, I made all the beats on it and produced it. Got a couple features. I got Hef. I got Katrom, and I have Outcast Click featured on the tracks. Shout out Outcast Click. Yep. And that'll be released December 9th. We have a show at the McPherson on the 25th. Probably around the time that this thing gets released.
Yeah, it'll be hopefully I capture some footage, man.
Yeah, and then I think there's a show at the lounge the next day, but it's gonna be more like of a artist showcase. Like it's gonna be a free jam. We're just gonna set up instruments, whatever musicians come, rappers come. It'll be a cipher and a jam, and then there's gonna be a pie contest. That'll be the 26th of November, and then a record next March for Fish and the Bones.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, thank you guys for staying tuned and stay safe.
Later.
It's Kelvin Candy.
This is A to Z.
My name is Richard Tattoo Champion.
I'm Professor Panda. This is from A to Z.
What's up, man? My name is Kid Griffey.
This is from A to Z. Yo, what's up? This is KB Finn from LGC. This is from A to Z. Kelly, you're watching A to Z.
Sancho Domingo, you know what I'm saying? From the side.
Yo, I'm Dre, LDC, from A to Z. Oh, my boy, this is from A to Z, yeah.